Hello everybody, this is the Blockernator, and today I will be teaching you how to write reader insert fanfiction. Now, for those of you who don't know, a reader insert is where a character added to a fanfic, but instead of every aspect of their personality being created by you leave most of the traits up to interpretation for the reader to decide. Now, in most of these examples, I will be using Naruto as the basis, because it's my favorite anime. So let's get started. Pick a fandom, preferably one you know well. For example, I know the plot to Naruto like the back of my hand. However, I've never seen one episode of Fairy Tail, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to write one about that series. Also, just a suggestion, maybe try to write one for a series that doesn't have a lot of these type of stories. For example, there are literally hundreds of Naruto and Dragon Ball reader inserts. But I've only been able to find about 4 Azumanga reader inserts. Slice of life anime tend to have very few of these stories. So, really just pick an anime you like, that you know well. The character. The reader's character is pretty much a faceless figure. The point of these stories is to have the reader pretty much be able to interact and become a part of the story, meaning that certain traits, like hair color and hair length, should be left blank. Also, name. You do not name the character. Got it? You do not name the character. Their name is left blank and up to the reader. Otherwise, you've created an OC. Also, the race. Do not make up the race of the character either. Leave that up to the reader as well. Now, of course, there are things that you are allowed to make up, like the character's backstory. Yes, you can make them a relative of another character, or not, it doesn't matter. Really, the backstory is up to you. One being the gender. If it is a romance story, you have to specify whether the reader is a male or female. Or you could just write a gender-neutral fanfic. Just be sure to specify the gender of the reader in the beginning of the story. Another thing you are allowed to change is personality. Obviously, you can't predict the personality of every person who's going to read your story. But if you don't give a personality in the story, they will seem boring, and you probably won't hold the reader's attention for very long. You can't leave the personality blank either, unlike most physical traits. As long as you have a consistent personality. Another thing you can change is the character's age, to make it appropriate for the story. Also, do not make your reader a Mary Sue. I see this happen a lot. Beware of Mary Sues, even in reader inserts. Also, the thing about Mary Sue reader inserts, you can pretty much just dominate and destroy every character in the series. That's just not as interesting. Make them have flaws, weaknesses. Make them lose. I mean, it's okay for them to win sometimes, but have them lose a little bit as well. Common Mary Sue trait I've seen. Now, I use Mary Sue for both genders. Sue me. One very common Mary Sue trait I've seen in Naruto reader inserts is that the girls at the academy gushing over the reader similar to how they do Sasuke. Do not have this happen. Okay? It is a bad idea. Because it's not really realistic at all. Sasuke is pretty much going to be the only guy that they pretty much obsess over. Another thing. Be very careful if you are going to link them to other characters. Don't change the whole story for the reader. Like, if they survive the Uchiha massacre, have a good reason. Also, it would be completely butchering of the story to have them be friends with either Naruto or Gaara, because Naruto's whole backstory is that he is alone. Everyone in the village pretty much hates him at the beginning of the story. Then you have the plot. Do you want a short and cute one-shot? Or do you want to include the reader in pretty much the whole series, beginning to end? Well, if you do take them through the whole story, you might have to take a couple of liberties in the plot. Which obviously you shouldn't butcher the whole story, but a few liberties are to be expected here and there. Like the teams in the academy. Whenever they graduate, they always have 3 members only. But you can make the reader part of the team to fit the story and have it just be a 4th member exception type thing. Or you can make a team full of 2 other OCs, it doesn't matter. And another important thing, keep characters in character. This is one of the biggest mistakes that writers make when writing fanfiction. Like, don't make glum, mopey Sasuke suddenly start acting like SpongeBob. The title. If your story is going to have a pairing, be sure to include it in the title. Like, Various X-Male Reader, Hinata X-Male Reader, Sakura X-Male Reader. And the last step, proofread, check for mistakes, typos, and everything like that, and you should be good to go. This has been the Blockinator. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more content. Also, if you want a recommendation of a reader insert, leave a comment down below, and I'll try to help you out. Subscribe for more content. This has been the Blockinator, and stay tuned for the list of terms you need to know.